CIL 650, in association with Tom Lucas Productions, presents Radio Real Estate.
Our house in the middle of our street.
And now, here are your hosts, Bill Macklem, Fern Northcutt, and Tom Lucas.
Good morning, William.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Welcome. How are you?
What a wonderful day.
Isn't it just darn fine,
yeah,
hey?
Look, I think I got roots going from my feet already.
And you brought in the water wings, so that looks really nice things. And Fern, you look good in your water wings, too.
Well, I'm learning how to walk in water.
Well, you got to stay afloat any way you can, right?
Absolutely.
Holy God. Lots going on in the world of real estate this weekend. First of all, Bill, people are talking about mortgages, rates going up, rates going down. Should we lock in now? Should we not lock in now?
Absolutely. Don't lock in.
Don't
lock in.
Okay.
Go for the best discounted variable rate you can possibly get, because it looks like rates are going down for the prime rate, which would then have some effect on the variable rate mortgages.
And is this has something to do with the trying to save the dollar, or?
I think they have to make sure that the Canadians still have some power in their Canadian dollar, that's for sure.
Or is this just a way of making us spend our money locally?
No, not this one. Not this one.
And Fern, what about real estate-wise? Do you still have the lack of inventory out there?
Yes, we do. Actually, it's interesting. The first January stats are out already, and listings are down. Sales are up over January of last year and of December of last year. So, it's just when I see this kind of thing in mid-January, what it indicates to me that, yes, lack of inventory again, demand and supply, so prices will be going up a bit this spring.
So now is the time, if you're thinking about putting that house on the market, go see the mortgage broker, go see your real estate agent, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yep, create a plan.
All right, well, Bill Macklem, as you heard, is here. He's the president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. He's the resident mortgage expert on the program. You'll have the weekly mortgage rate update in just a few minutes.
And Bill will also answer your question of the week in a few minutes. Sorry.
Later on the show, I'll be talking about the Bank of Canada and what that actually means for mortgage rates for the next 3 to 4 months.
That'll be interesting. And our Radio Real Estate Home Handyman, Finn Jensen.
Yeah, it looks like Fern is going to be talking about January's travel time, and there's the things you need to know before you leave. Monica Di Nabriga, president of Mummy Mays, will be here with her tip of the week. This morning she says, are you planning on selling your home? Mm-hmm. If so, there are things to be done before you put it on the market.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess that would stand to reason.
Probably taking off the hockey jerseys off the
That
wall.
would be your place, Bill.
Oh.
Also later in the show, we'll be chatting about, the sale of the Playboy Mansion with none other than Gary Gold. He's the executive VP of Hilton and Highland in Los Angeles, and they are the team that is actually selling the Playboy Mansion.
Wow.
So we'll find out what that's all about, because Fern's already made an offer, right, Fern?
I think she's gone for the moment.
Okay, so your mortgage question is coming up.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And we'll be talking about that on the next time around. Right now, Andrea Jock of Keller Williams Elite Realty is on the show, and she says the first couple of weeks have been extremely busy in the Tri-Cities area.
Sounds like it's been that way just about everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has.
Andy Matu of the Powerhouse Agents at Crest Remax West Side. He'll be on the show this morning. He's going to talk about what real estate is looking like in the greater Vancouver metropolitan area, so that will be interesting as well. And we're going to be talking about the mortgage question of the week in a few minutes. It's 10 minutes after 4 o'clock, but right now, Bill Macklem is here, and you were saying don't lock in just yet, Bill.
No. I had some clients in yesterday, and we were looking at the rates, and they're going to early renew, so they're going to get themselves a really good discount off the prime. I think it was 65 off the prime, which would give them about a 2.05. And if the rates drop by another quarter, we know the banks won't give us that full quarter, so it's probably going to be 10 or 15 down. So that means they're going to be looking at between 1.9 and 1.95. That's on their mortgage. So currently, some of the banks have actually cut back on their discounts, and so you're looking at 0.2 and 0.3 off the prime. So if the prime is 2.7, which it is today, if you get 3 off the prime, that means you're going to get 2.4. If the rates drop again, you're looking at 2.3 or maybe even 2.2. So yes, maintain your payments at the rate that's available today on a fixed rate. Okay. But make your payments based on the variable rate.
Okay. Another headline of the story in the paper last week, it says a bigger down payment is actually a good thing, yes?
Can be.
It can be?
It can be. If you have 20% down, then that means you get a 30-year RAM, which allows you to buy maybe that home that you would not normally be able to afford today, but let's buy it today because prices are going up so rapidly that if you can make that leap by having the 20% down to afford something a little bit more expensive, now might be time to do that.
So there's a little lesson there for anybody who might be living in mom and dad's basement.
Exactly.
So instead of going out and buying a bottle of something every week, put that money
or
away.
coffee,
Or whatever.
or games.
Or games, video games, yeah.
Video games,
So, like, scrunch a little bit, save a bit of dough.
I mean, you can do some magical things when you're still living at home with mom and dad.
I'll bet. It's things that mom and dad don't even know about.
I knew you'd go somewhere.
Never mind. It's 10:05. The next segment of the program, our mortgage expert Bill Macklem will be taking the question of the week. Not only that, we'll be talking about the Playboy Mansion sale coming up. Have you made your offer yet, Bill?
No, I haven't talked to my wife about that first.
I see. Well, that could be a long story. Yes. Also, we'll be talking about the BC assessments, which are out now.
Yeah.
And as I said on the show last week, there's only one person I've ever spoken to that has actually called BC assessments and said they thought they were assessed too low. Go figure.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Monica Dina Briga, who is president of Mummy Mates, will be on the show a little later on. She says, like Bill said earlier, if you're moving out, there are things you got to do first, right, Billy?
Absolutely. There are a number of things. And you're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house, Radio Real Estate on CL 650.
Hi, it's Preston here from Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations. When you're ready to paint, call Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations. We do it all. The filling, the sanding, the taping. Hey, we even clean up after ourselves. Discover what Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations can do for your home and office. Call for your estimate, 604-897-6049. That's 604-897-6049. Or get more information at humphreypropainting.com. That's humphreypropainting.com.
It's Tom Lucas from the Radio Real Estate Show with Mike Farkas on the line from North Vancouver Nissan. Mike, I understand that coming up next month, you've got a $20 deal off an oil change. Can we do it a little bit earlier this year?
Right away, starting this week, $20 off of any oil change, whether it's synthetic or regular. And we're going to start that right away, and that's for any Nissan owner that comes in and sees us.
Can I make my appointment online?
I've got you already booked.
Oh, fantastic. So it's northvancouvernissan.com. I'm coming right over.
Hi, this is Bill Macklem of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. As a successful broker-owner, I have developed a team of mortgage professionals that support me and my clients. If you're confused with all the mortgage chatter of do's and don'ts, my mortgage team is ready to answer your questions to determine the best mortgage for you. Call 604-684-HOME. That's 604-684-4663 for more information.
CL 650. We get letters. We get stacks and stacks of letters.
This is the part of the program I enjoy so much. Bill comes through the door. You've taken off your sports coat. You've put your sweater on.
I actually have a new sweater for next week.
Do you really?
Ken Richek, a friend of mine out of South Surrey, has given me a sweater.
He felt badly for you, did he?
Yeah,
I see.
He's given me a sweater. It's a beautiful sweater.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a mohair. And I'll have it on next week.
Rid of your Argyle.
Yeah, thank God, Fern? Well, Fernie's all dressed up. He's ready for the question of the week. What do you have for him?
And this week's question comes from Angie Potash of Port Coquitlam. Angie says, last week you answered, Bill, a query about credit history. I was wondering if you could suggest a few ways to get one's credit back on track.
Thanks, Fern. That's a good question from Angie. Probably the first thing you should do is you should always make your payments on your credit cards or any other debt you have on time. That's really important. And if you could actually make it above the minimum, that's even more important. What people don't realize is that, let's say you have a whole bunch of credit cards, particularly here after Christmas, and you have a bunch of bills, and you say, well, I'm going to put some money on each one of these bills, but you have to make the minimum. So let's say your minimum is $150. You say, well, I have $100 for this one and $100 for that one. What happens is that $50 is now in arrears. And so even though next month you may make your $150 payment, because you didn't make that $50 payment this month, you're now 2 months in arrears. And if you don't catch up at the next time, you're now 3 months in arrears. So you always want to make sure you make your minimum payment. You always want to stay below 80% of the credit limit. So if your limit is $4,000, take off that. So 80% of that is what?
I don't know what.
Okay, well.
You're the mortgage guy. Come on.
You're the money guy.
That's right. Come on.
So I'll make sure you stay below that limit.
Yeah, okay.
And I said, make sure you make your payments on time.
Yes. If you get me one of those...
That always works, and that works for credit cards as well, big time.
You know what? If you get us one of those calculators like he has, Fern, we'd be in great shape. We could just whip these numbers off. He needs to whip them off already.
Yeah, it's $3,200.
Okay. So, Fern, if somebody wants to get a hold of Bill for some information, what should they do?
And Bill can be reached online. Visit billymac.com. That's Billy with an I, not a Y, Mac, MAC.com, or call Bill at 604-684-HOME. That's 604-684-4663.
Thank you so much, Fern. The time now is 10 minutes after 10, 10:10. It's the Radio Real Estate Show time, and it's time now to hear from Andrea Jock of Keller Williams Elite Realty. We have her on the line. Andrea, good morning.
Good morning, Tom. Hi, everyone.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. It's been another busy week in the Tri-Cities. There are lots of buyers out looking, and listing inventory is really low, especially for townhomes listed in between $400,000 to $500,000. So if you're thinking about selling, now is a great time to beat the spring market.
Well, the assessments are out, and I'm thinking that the assessments might be a little low. What do you think?
Well, you can fight them if you think so.
So I hear. Otherwise, what do you have for us this day? Do you have any open houses this weekend?
I sure do. Today I'm featuring a gorgeous 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,200-square-foot townhome located in the popular Fremont Blue by Mosaic Homes. Located next to all the new exciting shops and restaurant development, the spacious home features an open-concept floor plan with a large gourmet kitchen featuring top-of-the-line stainless steel appliances and a huge center white island, an entertainer's dream kitchen. Located just steps to the park and the River Club exclusive to the Fremont residents, offering outdoor pool, hot tub, gym, recreation center, and barbecue area. What a wonderful place to call home. On the market for $478,800. Come by and visit the open house today and tomorrow from 1 to 4 p.m. This is Andrea Jock for Radio Real Estate.
So in the Tri-Cities, call Andrea Jock at 604-783-3124 or visit pinnaclegrouprem.com. Phone number again is 604-783-3124 or visit pinnaclegrouprem.com.
Thank you so much, Fern. We are getting funky. We are getting down here on the Radio Real Estate Show. It's 11 minutes after 10 o'clock, and coming up, we'll be talking about the $200 million asking price for the sale of the Playboy Mansion.
Ooh.
Yeah, not only that, we're going to be talking about the BC assessments. What? The owner goes...
The owner.
Well, we'll talk about the owner of the place in a minute. Fern, what else is going down?
This is Fern Northcott of Remax Performance Realty with mortgage expert Bill Macklem, president of Macklem Mortgage, producer Dwayne Bishop, and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Radio Real Estate, Vancouver's original on-air open house on CL 650.
Hey, it's Preston from Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations. At Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations, we're more than just painting. As you can guess from our name, we do renovations too. Kitchens, bathrooms, living rooms, offices, whatever your renovation needs are, Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations is here for you. Call for your estimate now, 604-897-6049. That's 604-897-6049. Or get more information at humphreypropainting.com. That's humphreypropainting.com.
Hi, this is Monica from Mummy Maids. We're here to help you with all your cleaning needs, including move-in, move-outs, packing and unpacking, organizing, laundry and windows, walls, basic cleaning and custom cleaning. We do it all. You deserve a break and Mummy Maids can help. Let us clean your castle with no hassle. Call 604-533-4959. That's 604-533-4959. Or visit us at mummymaids.com.
Hi, this is Fern Northcott from Remax Performance. Your real estate dreams begin with you. Real estate is the greatest investment you will ever make. Approach it as an adventure, financially and emotionally without mistakes. I have a plan for making your real estate investments work for you. Call or text me, Fern Northcott, at 604-790-9066, 604-790-9066, or visit fnorthcott.com.
It's Tom Lucas from the Radio Real Estate Show with Mike Farkas on the line from North Vancouver Nissan. Mike, I understand that coming up next month, you've got a $20 deal off an oil change. Can we do it a little bit earlier this year?
Right away, starting this week, $20 off of any oil change, whether it's synthetic or regular. And we're going to start that right away, and that's for any Nissan owner that comes in and sees us.
Can I make my appointment online?
I've got you already booked.
Oh, fantastic. So it's NorthVancouverNissan.com. I'm coming right over.
Hi, this is Bill Macklem from Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Most people need advice on mortgage financing. We provide personal financial advice with no vested interest and at no cost. We're compensated by the lenders. We'll review your current financial situation to determine if you are ready to purchase. If not, we'll help develop a plan to put home ownership in your future. For more information, call 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
Vancouver weather.
14 after 10 o'clock. Good morning. Great news in the weather forecast for this morning. You know the rain we're having this morning?
Yeah.
It's going to stop by noon, and then we're going to have showers.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, so the rain's going to stop, and then we're going to have showers.
Isn't that still water?
Oh, yeah. What else is going down?
Well, tomorrow we're going to have more rain ending in the afternoon.
Told you.
Just after the first football game, and then cloudy with 6% chance of showers, around 10 to 15 I think about mims.
Mims?
Millimeters. Mims.
Oh, mims. Millimeters.
Mims.
Sure.
And then on Monday, we're going to have cloudy with 70% chance of more showers, a high of 8.
Right now it's 6 degrees on the Radio Real Estate Show.
CI650.
All the crystal chandeliers light up the paintings on your wall. The marble statuettes are standing stately in the hall.
Now, you see, Bill, our producer Dwayne gets it. You, unfortunately, are the mortgage guy, and you're making your face all scrunched up. You don't get it, do you? The crystal chandeliers. Where would you find crystal chandeliers? In a big house. What do you call a big house?
Properties.
What are those big houses called?
Mansions.
Mansions. Exactly. You're with me, right, Fern?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's
they are.
because Bill has never been allowed to go there, and I understand why. But the Playboy Mansion is for sale. They're asking $200 million for this, and it's kind of an interesting thing because Fern and I were chatting about this during the week, and the owner of the property gets to go with it. And I've got a gentleman on the phone right now. His name is Gary Gold. He's the executive vice president of Hilton and Highland. They're a real estate firm in Los Angeles. They're helping to sell this property. And the question I have to you, if you buy this place, aren't you just becoming a slumlord, really?
It's a life estate, and he's going to be there for the life of his property. And that does happen in other situations, but there's only one Playboy Mansion. The buyer is going to obviously be a billionaire, and it could definitely be a collector. It's the same type of person that would buy a highly coveted sports team. And I think it's also going to be someone who's got a larger-than-life personality like Hef. He'll be there for the balance of his life. This will give someone the opportunity to kind of figure out what they want to do with it. It'll all work out fine. That will be an arrangement that our buyer will not have a problem with. In addition to just being the Playboy Mansion, this is one of the best estate sites in the country. You are on South Mapleton, which Wall Street Journal said is the best street west of the Mississippi. It's on 5 acres on the north golf course at LA Country Club. You've got a view. When you go there, it is absolutely stunning. So you've got one of the greatest properties, even if it wasn't the Playboy Mansion, and you wanted a property like this, you may never have another opportunity. The real estate market in California is hotter than it's ever been in history. So the timing is right. There's a lot of big sales all over the world going on. And real estate is a tangible asset that people really are interested in with all what's happening in the world. It's an investment people want to make. I know they're going into the next chapter in their life. It's a really dynamic company, and they're making a few changes, and this is one of them.
So there you go.
Jeez.
Yeah, interesting, eh?
That's very interesting.
Yeah. Have you ever had an opportunity, Fern, to see the place?
Me?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
actually, no. Sorry,
Fern,
I don't
not
qualify.
me.
But I actually wouldn't mind the website for that because even just for personal knowledge, I mean, gosh, it sounds like a wonderful place.
It does, but you know what? I'm going to be the devil's advocate here, but I'm thinking it's probably like really 70s-ish on the inside and probably needs a lot of updating. What do you think? Because I don't think Hugh's
It's
been...
hard to say until I see the website.
Oh, come on. Come on. You know what it's like.
I mean, Hef might have it up to date.
You think? You think?
You never know.
And I'm just curious.
I mean,
with two...
he can afford to employ the
No.
best interior designers.
Sure, that too.
But he's still in pajamas, though.
Yeah, well, yeah. Mm-hmm. Very nice pajamas.
So, see?
That'd be a smoking jacket.
It becomes a fashion. So he was in pajamas back in the 70s, and today, pajamas are in fashion.
And I think the $200 million...
Well, they certainly are. He was ahead of his time.
The $200 million price does not include the tail and the bunnies board.
Well, you know, I was going to say that when you show up to view the place,
Mm-hmm.
who is going to give you the tour? Are they going to wear ears?
Ah, good point. Well, see,
You guys should go look at it.
we don't have mansions. At least I don't. I know that Bill doesn't. And Fern has a very nice house, but it's not a mansion by any means. And the assessments have come out recently.
Yeah.
They have. And we're going to talk about assessments right now with a gentleman from Assessment BC. BCassessments.ca is the website. And the gentleman's name is Gary Morale. Did I say that? What's that? Brian. Oh, I said Gary. I'm sorry. Brian, good morning.
Good morning.
It's one of those mornings. Welcome to the show. Nice to have you with us. And thank you so much for doing this.
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So tell us, what do you do? Is you're a deputy assistant out there for the Fraser Valley, right?
That's correct. I'm a deputy assessor for our Fraser Valley region working out of the Surrey office. So I manage a a team of appraisers and senior appraisers out of that office, and we're responsible for the assessments for that region.
Let's talk about assessments for a second here. How are they determined?
So assessments are essentially an estimate of the market value of a property based on the market at July 1st of the year prior to the rural year, and also based on the physical condition of the property as of October 31st of that year. The importance of these common valuation dates is to ensure that we're setting a common date for assessing all properties to ensure that it's equitable. In order to create those assessments, our appraisers are taking a look at real estate sales that have transacted over the course of that year, and they use those to determine the value of all properties for the province.
So if they do the assessment on those properties, and let's say the properties have gone crazy in terms of value, would you actually drop the actual mill rate to compensate the fact that you don't need quite as much money now that these properties are worth more money?
Well, I mean, the important thing to clarify here is that BC Assessment doesn't actually set the mill rate. So we, as a provincial crown corporation, are responsible for determining the assessed values of all these properties, whereas it's the actual taxing jurisdictions that are going to be setting the mill rates. What I can say is that we get as much information as possible to the taxing jurisdictions well ahead of time, such that they're able to take any changes in market value into consideration in setting their mill rates. And they'll be looking to set those mill rates typically based off of what their budgetary needs actually are. So they're not looking to collect a huge windfall of tax dollars or anything based off of the market going up, that's for sure.
So people get into the marketplace and they wonder, like, where does all this money go at the end of the year once they pay their taxes? Can you maybe sort of shed a little light on this? Where does that money go?
You're asking where do the tax dollars go?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it makes up the municipalities' budgets entirely.
Mm-hmm.
They get a small portion of their revenues from other sources, but the majority of it comes from property tax dollars. Those property tax dollars are going to fund the majority of your local services in your community. So we're talking about things like police services, fire services, community centers, even maintenance of your local roads, everything like that.
So all the things that we come to rely on, that's what the money goes for. And I'm glad you straightened that out for us. Now, Brian, let's suppose there are some people out there that I was saying to Bill earlier in the show, I've only ever talked to one woman who's ever contested her assessment. She says she feels that she wasn't assessed properly. They didn't assess her enough. So she made a change. She gave them a call. How do people go about contesting their assessments?
I mean, I think the first thing that I would say is typically we only see 2% or less of owners actually contesting their appeal. Actually, I think for the previous roll year in 2015, it was less than 1%. We always encourage owners who are looking to contest it to get in contact with us first, whether it's phoning us or going over to our website. We have a great new tool called eValueBC on our website that allows owners to essentially put in their address and see some details on their assessment and even get an idea of what similar properties have sold for in their area. If after reviewing information like this, owners are still in disagreement and want to contest it, they're going to need to submit a formal application in writing by the end of the month. This year it's February 1st because January 31st falls on a weekend. Mm-hmm. But that letter is essentially stating that they wish to contest it. There's instructions on the assessment notice as well, and if they pop over to our website at bcassessment.ca, the directions for appealing a property are very clear on there.
All right, so that's bcassessment.ca, bcassessment.ca, and you also have an 800 telephone number as well, right?
We do. It's 1-866-VALUE-BC.
Okay, so that's 1-866-825-8322, correct?
That is correct.
And any business hours you can call and you can talk to somebody that'll take good care of you, right?
That's correct.
I noticed that on the
I've
assessments.
got a quick question, if you don't mind, too.
Certainly.
Hi, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Board, I'm just kind of interested. What do you figure the percentage of the increase of the assessments were over 2015?
It depends where you're looking at. I mean, when we're looking at some of the properties more on the north side of the Fraser, getting into places like Vancouver, Burnaby, and even with our Richmond areas, they were a bit higher. You're looking at more around the 20 to 25% range. Once you get out to the valley, it drops off a little bit more, maybe around the range of 5 to 15%. But that captures most of the Lower Mainland, I'd say.
Okay, thank you. You answered my question.
So in regards to the, I'm always about the money, sorry about Brian, but I'm looking at it. So if you saw, like for example, in Port Moody, you saw a 17% increase year over year, and in City of New Westminster, you saw a 12% increase year over year. So when people are looking at their assessments, is it likely that if the price of operating the municipality is less than excuse me, how can I say this now? Let's just say that the municipality is determining their budget for the year, and they have a 5% or 7% increase. Is it possible that people could actually see a drop in the mill rate, even though their taxes may stay the same?
That's correct, and we have seen that. I would say historically, in years where you've seen more substantial overall percentage increases in the market. If you go back and look at what mill rates have done, they've typically gone down slightly. In most cases, the municipalities, due to, just inflation in general, typically require small budget increases every year. But those budget increases oftentimes are not as high as what the market has done. And in those years, you would typically see a small mill rate decrease as well. It's not always guaranteed, though.
Okay. Well, one thing I noticed that you did this year that I really think is really great is that on the assessments that you have like either a 3 or 4 year history of the value of the property, which was really neat. I've never seen that before.
That's correct. It's really great. We didn't have that before, so we would often get a lot of owners contacting us for that sort of information. I think we heard enough about that demand, threw it on there, and it looks like a lot of people are enjoying that.
Oh, I think you guys did a great job.
Thank you.
I think so, too.
Now, Brian, I'm just curious. You do these assessments in the summer, is that right?
That's correct. So the property's market value is based off of the market at July 1st of the year prior. So for your 2016 assessments right now, we're looking at July 1st, 2015. And the importance of that is that it takes time for those sales to come through the land titles office, give our appraisers time to analyze them, and set the values that you're seeing right now.
Now, what would be a busier season for you? Back in the summer when they're actually doing this, or now when people are saying, "Gee whiz, I know, that's my place is worse." So, what time of year is busier for you then, Brad?
In the past, I could say that maybe it was more the fall when we were setting the values, and then definitely January through March as we're taking a lot of these inquiries. But I would say, year over year now, we're busy all year round. We spend a lot of time throughout the spring and summer building quality enhancement projects to ensure that we're improving the quality of our rural every year.
Well, I was just thinking, because in case you're busier now, what we could do is get Bill to come over, because there's a spiffy new camera. We could take your picture and then send it to your family so they don't forget what you look like.
They haven't forgotten, don't worry.
They haven't forgotten. You're quite a big organization, BC Assessments. There's quite a few people that work over there.
Our exact employee count, I'm not sure of, but I think it's somewhere in the realm of 600 to 700 for the whole province.
Wow. That's a pretty unique size.
So when you think about what they do,
yeah,
that's a pretty heavy load.
That's right. You people cover an awful lot of area, don't you?
We do. We cover the entire province. And, in the Lower Mainland, it might be a bit easier for us to utilize technology to get a lot of that information.
Mm-hmm.
As you get further out, farther north into more rural areas, it can often take a little bit more manpower to get out there and obtain that information.
When you were a young guy, did you ever have to go out and do this yourself?
Yes, I did.
All right, here's a story.
I've got some stories of being out in the field, but we'll have to save those for another time.
Oh, come on. No. Just tell us one quick little story. Come on, quick little story. Remember, there were kids listening to this program, too, so.
Maybe his.
Maybe yours. That's right. So what were some of your responsibilities then?
Some of my responsibilities now? Or
back then when you were a young gaffer.
Back in those days,
yeah.
Well, if an owner called and they had a complaint and they wanted someone to come out and take a look at their property, then I was out there on the road, knocking on their door, meeting with them, going inside the house, and you see some interesting things in people's houses sometimes, but we respect owners' privacy, so I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, I would suspect, though, if you showed up at the front door, it'd be kind of like having the brain surgeon or the high school principal show up at the front door. Oh my goodness, here he is.
It depends. You know what? Every owner is completely different, and their reactions and welcoming and friendliness can really vary as well. And
I would say that you're probably on the side of the homeowner.
Yes.
Yes, he is. He did a wonderful job. I know you got a family, and you're kind enough to be with us on a Saturday morning. I thank you for being with us. Before you go, one more time, can you please give us the website and the 800 number?
Okay, so the website is www.bcassessment.ca. That's all one word, no dashes.
Okay.
And the 1-800 number is 1-866-VALUE-BC, which is 825-8322.
Now, Brad, if somebody wanted to talk to you about the assessment, they have until, what is it, the 1st of February, were you saying?
That's correct. So the appeal deadline is February 1st at 11:59. Our offices are typically open Monday to Friday. You can get in touch with someone between the hours of 8:30 to 5 p.m., and there's always someone available to take your call at those times.
All right. Now, Brad, one last question. Did you get your assessment in the mail?
I did. Yeah.
And?
Any questions from you about that?
And you're okay with it?
I thought it was very fair.
Okay, that's good news. Brian, thank you so much for sharing your time with us this morning. We'll do it again very soon. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me on, Tom.
Have a great day. Thank you very much. And don't forget to take his picture, Bill, in case his family forgets to.
Absolutely.
And Fern, he got his assessment. Everything is fine? Everything fine with you?
Everything is fine. Yes, you know, it's, as they say, right from the horse's mouth. I appreciate that.
Right from the horse's mouth. Right all the way from BC Assessments. It's 10:30 on the West Coast. And Fern, we got some special things coming up in the program, I'm thinking.
We sure do. And in our next segment, we will be joined by Monica Di Nobrega, president of Mommy Maids, who has this week's cleaning tip. She says, if you're selling, better clean up first. And I'm with that.
So we always say, call the mortgage broker, call the real estate agent, but first of all, you should call Mommy Maids or clean it up yourself, right? Then start the process.
Exactly.
Because it's a long process. Hey, good morning. I'm Tom Lucas with our co-host Fern Northcott of Remax Performance Realty. Bill Macklem is the president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. Our producer is Dwayne Bishop. And you are listening to Radio Real Estate on CIL 650.
It's Tom Lucas from the Radio Real Estate Show with Mike Farkas on the line from North Vancouver Nissan. Mike, I understand that coming up next month, you've got a $20 deal off an oil change. Can we do it a little bit earlier this year?
Right away, starting this week, $20 off of any oil change, whether it's synthetic or regular. And we're going to start that right away, and that's for any Nissan owner that comes in and sees us.
Can I make my appointment online?
I've got you already booked.
Oh, fantastic. So it's northvancouvernissan.com. I'm coming right over.
Your life's too busy to be doing the things that you don't want to do. Hi, it's Monica at Mommy Maids. We'll free up your time by taking care of all your cleaning needs. We have weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or one-time special occasion plans available, including move-in and move-outs. Commercial and residential cleaning performed by bonded, insured, WCB-covered, uniform cleaning experts. You deserve a break, and Mommy Maids can help. Let us clean your castle with no hassle. Call 604-533-4959 or visit mummymaids.com.
Hi, this is Fern Northcott of Remax Performance. Your real estate dreams begin with you. You deserve the facts of a professional home evaluation based on the statistics of the MLS. To find out what your house is really worth, call or text me. Fern Northcott, 604-790-9066, 604-790-9066, or visit fnorthcott.com.
Hi, this is Bill Macklem from Dominion Macklem Mortgages. We have found that most consumers automatically sign their mortgage renewal statements. Most banks have a higher than 90% renewal rate, so there's no incentive to give the best rates on renewal. Most people will not change lenders due to the hassle factor. Let us do the shopping for you. Call Dominion Macklem Mortgages today.
CIL 650.
The clean up woman, 'cause she's tough. She really cleans up.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, the cleanup movement came to my house yesterday.
Yeah?
3 of them.
Really?
I thought it was the Supremes. They were singing away and having a good time.
How much mess do you make?
Lots.
No kidding.
Yeah,
for 3 of them.
3. Oh, yeah.
Must have been really messy, Tom.
Oh, I'm such a messy guy. It takes 3 cleanup.
All day?
All day. Well, they work quickly.
Well, they must.
I get out of their way and they work quickly. Wow. But earlier this morning, Fern was saying that the Monica says if you have your house up for sale and before you actually call the realtor over and put the home on the market, there are certain things you got to do, right, Monica?
Selling your home in the new year, you'll need to make it sparkling for potential buyers. Here are a few steps that you should consider when selling your home. Number 1, decluttering your home. If you have too much stuff, the rooms look smaller and too busy. Have a garage sale. Put ads in your local paper. Give things away. These days, having less furniture in your home has become more of the norm. Remember, doubles of everything doesn't really do any good for you. Do a deep clean. Make sure you get every nook and cranny in your home. Windows, sills, cupboards, walls, windows, baseboards, oven, fridge, the works. You can do this yourself or you can call in the expert. Have your home professionally cleaned by house cleaners who know what should be done. You can have them do the deep clean and follow up when the home is listed on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. Most cleaning companies offer discount prices for regular scheduled cleaning. This is Monica Di Nobrega for Radio Real Estate.
So let Mommy Maids clean your castle with no hassle. Call Monica at 604-533-4959, 604-533-4959, or visit mommymaids.com. That's mommymaids.com.
I like how you say that. Let Mommy Maids clean your castle with no hassle.
With 3 people.
The 3 people. Well,
That
okay.
works.
Yeah, it works for me.
Yep, works for me too. And you know what? One thing that when you're working with a bonded company like Monica,
Mhm.
you are not concerned about leaving them a key. You know that you don't have to be home. You know, if they know where you keep your key outside or wherever, but I didn't say that. You know, so have at her.
No, you're so right, too. They will come over whether you're there or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. They always say, do you want to be there? I go, well, you know.
Not really.
No, I actually do because I like to talk to people.
Really?
Especially when these... Well, a couple
I didn't know that.
Couple come over. No, Fern will tell you. A couple come over to my place, and then the third lady, she's just there to talk to me.
Oh, very good.
And to hold my hand.
Do you have tea?
No, we have tea. We have anything you like. So come on.
You should get some of my mom's cookies.
Let's get to your mom's cookies. We'll invite the listeners over. We'll have a talk about real estate. What do you think?
Absolutely.
That'd be pretty good. It's 10:35. You last week were on the show. We're talking about mortgages and things that you usually do, and then after the show, a woman gave you a call.
Yeah, I met a lady yesterday, a young lady. Doreen is her name. She was listening to our show last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
She said, this is my first time listening. She said, and I like what you said, so I phoned your office right away quick. Well,
nice.
I happened to be not in the office, so Benta, who works with me, took the call, and we set up an appointment, and I saw her yesterday. And, she just wanted to talk about things that are going on, and she's already got a couple of realtors involved, and she's already got some financial people involved, but she just wanted kind of like a third party, perception of what's going on.
Is she a first-time buyer?
No. She's owned for quite a few years,
before?
and was looking for advice on what our next steps should be. So we just had a chat.
Quickly, what I'd like to do is to talk to both of you. First of all, Bill, somebody's coming to the mortgage broker for the very first time. They're a first-time buyer. What should they be prepared to do once they come into Mr. Macklem's office?
They should have with them probably their most recent pay stubs.
Mm-hmm.
If they're really good, they'll probably have their notices of assessment from Rev Canada. So that kind of gives us our income stream, so we can verify that the income you're telling me is actually really true. Because a lot of people, we forget how much we make. We know what our net is, but we don't necessarily know what our gross is. And so we need to know what the gross income is.
Or it's just gross.
Just gross.
Yeah.
So that's the income you get before the taxes, before all the deductions.
Do you know why they call it take-home pay? Because you're too embarrassed to take it anywhere else. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not the truth.
So we get that. If they're going to have a down payment, we normally ask them to have either their statement from their bank, RSPs, or a tax-free savings account. If they're going to get a gift from mom and dad, we'll just show how to do that kind of thing. So we'll go through all that process. But those are the basic information. And we always tell people, be relaxed. This is a consultation. I'm not getting you to sign anything. You're not obligated.
You're not taking blood.
We're not taking blood.
Okay.
We are paid by the banks.
Office.
All right, now if we've been off to see Bill Macklem, he's got us on the road, on the narrow road, and now he says call Fern. So Fern, I come over, we sit down, we have a cup of coffee at your office. I'm a first-time buyer, and what are some of the things you'll go through with me?
Well, it's interesting because both Bill and I make house calls, that if he has a client that wants to talk about mortgaging and real estate at the same time, I go to his office and vice versa. So wherever the people are most comfortable. So when I'm looking to sell their home, first of all, I kind of like to have a copy of the assessment, mainly because it gives the registered owners on that on the deed and who they actually are. A lot of times we'll get or call or whatever to appraise the property, and it's very important for me to know who's on title. It also gives me the legal description too, so that tells me that you're selling the property you're sitting in and not the property next door. So, and copy of the mortgage or whoever the lender is in the authorization, so I can confirm how much mortgage is. But those are the two things that I kind of like on our first interview.
So now if people were thinking of maybe getting in touch with Fern because she seems like a very nice person on the radio, she seems to know her business, so how can they get a hold of you, Fern?
Hi, it's Fern Northcott from Remax Performance, and I can be reached at either 604-790-9066. That's phone or text, 604-790-9066. And my direct email is fern@smart.com. That's Fern with an E at smart.com.
And before you go see Fern, you want to see Bill Macklem and Billy, other than your mom's wonderful cookies over at your office? How do we get there? Where are you?
We're over on 24th Avenue and 154th Street in South Surrey, so we're kind of central. I'm 20 minutes from Ladner. I'm 20 minutes from Langley.
And you're right across from the Peninsula Village there.
And I'm right across from the Safeway, London Drugs, and Pasta Vino.
Used to be Sabatino's, didn't it?
Used to Sabatino's.
Yeah, used to hang
Good
out
Italian
there.
restaurant.
Yeah.
Not that I like to eat.
No, I understand. Yeah, you go camping. So if you can't find Fern and Bill, they're out there camping at the restaurant. But they'll do business anywhere. So what's your phone number, Bill?
Phone number there is 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
All right, it's 20 minutes now before 11 o'clock. What's coming up? What are you going to be yakking about, my
We're
friend?
going to talk about rates. We're going to talk about what the Bank of Canada, Mr. Pulotz, is going to be doing possibly this coming week.
You think he might be doing something?
I think we're going to be seeing a drop in rates, so now would be the time to stay with your variable rate mortgage.
Stay with that. Stay with your friendly real estate agent, too, right?
Exactly.
All right. Coming up on the show, we're going to be chatting about Greater Vancouver real estate with Andy Mattu. He is one of the powerhouse agents at RE/MAX Crest Real Estate Westside.
And this is for Northcott of RE/MAX Performance Realty with Bill Macklem, President of Dominion Macklem Mortgage, producer Dwayne Bishop, and Tom Lucas. You're listening to Vancouver's original on-air open house radio real estate on CL 650.
Hi, this is for Northcott of RE/MAX Performance. Your real estate dreams begin with you. Baby boomers move for various reasons. Perhaps your home is just too big, or you want to buy that toy you always wanted. Together, we will make that happen. Call or text me, Fern Northcott, 604-790-9066, 604-790-9066, or visit fnorthcott.com.
Hey, it's Preston from Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations. At Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations, we're more than just painting. As you can guess from our name, we do renovations too. Kitchens, bathrooms, living rooms, offices, whatever your renovation needs are, Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations is here for you. Call for your estimate now, 604-897-6049. That's 604-897-6049. Or get more information at humphreypropainting.com. That's humphreypropainting.com.
Hi, it's Bill Macklem from Dominion Macklem Mortgages. We all need specific types of mortgage financing. You may have bought your next home and not sold your current place. We have financing for that. You may not be able to prove your income for the mortgage you require. We have a lender for that. Call us, Dominion Macklem Mortgages today, 604-684-4663, 604-684-HOME.
Vancouver weather.
Well, I don't know. I was just talking to Bill Macklem. Do you think we should do the weather or not?
I tell you, it's starting to get a little boring.
It is. Maybe we should make up a weather forecast. It'll be sunny and warm.
Why don't we do
today.
that? We could
Expected
do that.
high about 77 degrees here in Honolulu.
Yeah, sunny, nice breezes, trade winds coming in.
But not here.
Down the beach is really good.
Rain, wet for the next few days, right? Take the umbrella. The rain will stop. The showers will happen. And right now it is 6 degrees on the west coast.
CL 650.
Just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
I'm going to make this place my home. I'm going to go see my mortgage broker. I'm going to go call my real estate agent. That's kind of the way it works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And you'd be amazed how many people are doing that more and more and more.
Really?
We've got a number of clients that came in this last week. You would have thought the first week or second week in January would have been kind of slow.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our clients have recommended their family and friends to come over and see us to just kind of chat. And we look at that.
It's kind of weird. Like, people are going in to get pre-approved for mortgages, and then Fern, the real estate agent, doesn't really have too many places to sell. I mean, you get a place and you can sell it like that, right?
Well, yes. It's I always prefer when somebody comes in and they have been pre-approved, and especially if they have the document in hand. What it does is, and we're going to have this in the spring, multiple offer situations. Again, it gives me the edge because I can always say to the owner, say to the realtor, if I'm not to be there upon presentation of an owner or of an offer, that, look, I have pre-approval from Bill, and they can actually afford to buy your home, so we don't have to go through all of that rigmarole.
It's interesting you mentioned multiple offers that will be coming back, and maybe what we should do is do a special show of multiple offers one time. We can talk about from the real estate agent's point of view and from the mortgage broker's point of view, right?
I would think that'd be a
and
good
from
idea.
the owner's point of view, too.
Yeah.
Because if you're a listing agent, you have to have that multiple offer situation set up ahead of time. You have to tell your sellers that this is exactly what's going to happen, so don't be surprised when it happens, because it can be very overwhelming. And if you do not have your real estate agent in total control of the situation, then it can go awry.
So I guess there's something you need to tell everybody, especially the prospective purchasers as well, too. They'd have to know about that, wouldn't they?
Absolutely, yes.
So there's
Yeah,
more than meets
it's
the eye
important
here.
that they know the process.
All right, so we have an idea for a future show then.
I think that would be a great
Thanks,
show.
kids, for that. Hey, a guy is standing in the wings. Yeah, he wants to get on the air. He says he's got places to go, people to see, things to do. So let's look at the lower Vancouver mainland real estate situation right now. Andy Mattu of the Powerhouse Agents is on the line, and Andy works over at Remax Crest Realty Westside. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning, Tom. How are you doing today?
Well, I'm probably working harder than you are. No, wait a minute. You're probably working harder than I am because you're out looking for listings, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm knocking on doors, phoning people. There is no inventory out there at all. It is a seller's market out there, Tom.
I would imagine, though, that you probably have buyers that are ready to buy with cash if they can just find a place.
Exactly. Yeah, we got lots of buyers lined up. Trying to find it is very hard here. Everybody's got their assessments. They're taking a look at it. I've got a couple of calls already to come in, give them evaluations of their houses, what it's really worth.
Yeah.
But it's always above assessment, obviously, in this type of market. Call me, see what your house is really worth. If it's worth it, you put it on the market, and you go into bidding wars.
So get your assessment, give Andrew a call. He'll come over and compare notes and have a look for you. Now, you've got a very special listing for us this week, right?
Yeah, I got a listing coming up in the next week here. I'll just put it out there for people. It's going to be in the Burnaby Deer Lake area. It's just over 10,000 square foot lot. The house is over 5,500 square feet. It's 3 levels. It's custom-built house. So the exterior of the house is all real cedar wood, so you don't see any hardy wood or plastic or anything like that. Inside, real hardwood flooring. It's going to be price sharp. The price will be determined. If you really want to come and see it before it hits the market, give me a call directly, and we can get you in there.
All right, my friend, listen, you go talk to your friends here in the real estate industry. Get some more information for us. We'll pass it along next week.
Sounds good. This is Andy Mattu for Radio Real Estate.
Put the power of the Powerhouse Agents to work for you. Call Andy at 604-307-3000. That's 604-307-3000, or visit powerhouseagents.ca. That's powerhouseagents.ca.
Thank you so much, Fern. It's 10:46. It's the Radio Real Estate Show with Tom Lucas, Fern Northcott, Bill Macklin, and our producer of the program, the guy that keeps us on the air every weekend, is Dwayne Bishop.
Good.
And without Dwayne, we wouldn't be here, folks.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Thanks, guys.
If he wasn't here, I wouldn't be coming.
And he needs a mortgage, so I know who. So Bill brought in this you do this every week. You brought in, we call it Today in History.
Yeah.
And brought to you by Macklin Mortgages. And it was on this date back in 1973. We had the last episode of
Bonanza.
Pop, what's his face? What was on there? What was his?
Lauren Green was...
Northcott. No, not Northcott.
Lauren Green.
Cartwright.
Cartwright.
Ben Cartwright. That's it.
Ben Cartwright.
Fern
Haas.
Canadian.
Haas and Little Joe.
I think he was from Ottawa, wasn't he? Yeah. Hello, I'm Ben Cartwright. Anyway, so
He
yeah.
used to be a news announcer out of Toronto, wasn't he?
He did, yeah. Worked in Ottawa for a while, too. I worked in Ottawa, but it sure as hell didn't help me much, did it?
Well, you should have talked to the guys that done the Revenant up there in northern Alberta and BC.
Or I should have hung up with Paul Anka, but hey,
Yeah, they could have done
different
that
story.
Hey, well, there you go.
Ten-
Who knew?
Yeah,
Who knew?
Did you know Paul Anka? My next door neighbor knew Paul Anka.
No.
My next door neighbor, I won't give her name because she'll be embarrassed, but she's an older lady now, but she said when she was a little girl that she was going to marry Paul Anka and had his children.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, she can still have his children.
That's true, too. That's Now you know why I didn't give her name, right?
Exactly.
Well, see, everybody works hard for their money.
Oh, yes.
And they're looking for places to buy. Oh, my God, it's so crazy out there. We want to buy a place, but there's nothing to buy. We've gone to the mortgage broker. We took Fern's advice. We went to see Bill. We got pre-approved for a mortgage. What do I do now?
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Well, you want to be aware of what's going on in the marketplace.
What's going on in the marketplace,
And
yeah.
part of that marketplace is the Bank of Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And so it looks like the odds of the Bank of Canada will lower its key interest rate this week are rising. There's a number of major banks who are chorusing the same predication.
So the rates are going to go down a little bit
Well,
more?
what they're saying is that because of the fact that the Business Outlook survey is down,
Mm-hmm.
oil prices are down, and commodity prices overall are down. Obviously, our Canadian dollar is down. They're thinking that they should be dropping the rate. So there is a certain amount of pressure right now to drop it another quarter point. So right now we're at 0.5 would be the Bank of Canada prime rate. Banks add on their 200 basis points, which is 2%.
Mm-hmm.
So that means it would be 2.5. But they didn't give us a discount the last two times, so they only gave us a portion of it. So it's 2.7 right now. So if the banks give us any kind of, they're supposed to give us a quarter point, but they're not, because they're not doing well. So if they give us a 10 off, you'll see the prime drop from 2.7 to 2.6. But if you're in a variable, you automatically get that discount. If you're in one of the variables that I've helped you get in the last 10 years, 15 years, you will get the new discount, or not new discount, but the new interest rate, less your discount. So you're still safe. Hopefully, as we discussed in many of our meetings, you're actually paying at a higher mortgage amount than you should be, so you're paying down your mortgage that much faster.
Maybe explain that a little bit. So if you explain, Bill.
So in the past, we've seen 2.99, 2.79 as a fixed rate, 3.29, 3.59. What I suggest is that you take the discounted variable rate mortgage. So in this case here, let's say it's 2.5, let's say, just for safety's sake, 2.5, because based on the discounts. Make your payments as if it's 3.5.
Okay.
So you're doing two things. First off, you're paying down your mortgage that much faster. Secondly, you're actually buffering yourself, so if the rates ever do go up, you don't have that shock of a new payment that all of a sudden puts your budget completely out of whack.
Now, Fern, this is a deal that maybe I've worked up with Bill Macklem and his mortgage company to make the purchase of a house. Does the real estate agent actually care what kind of deal I make with my mortgage broker?
I do prefer to know, because then that way you know the buying power of your people. And correct me if I'm wrong here, though, Bill, that I believe there was a study done over 21 years, that 21 years ago if somebody took a mortgage on a variable, which, of course, 21 years ago we were all terrified, and kind of kept that variable mortgage over this period of time, that they come out a lot better off financially than, let's say, if they took a 5-year fixed or a 3-year fixed or whatever. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That would be very true, because from about 81 on, we saw a dropping in interest rates. It's getting to the point now that you're going to see some differences of opinion. People are starting to lock into a 1 or a 2 or a 3-year term just to have some stability. But from what I'm seeing right now with what's going on in our economy, you would be best served if you took a variable rate mortgage, if you were comfortable with that. And don't forget, when you qualify for a variable rate mortgage, you have to qualify at the Bank of Canada's posted rate. I think it's 4.64 today. So you have to qualify the 4.64. So what that means is that the interest rates could rise as high as 4.64, and with your income, you could still afford that house. So we don't run into the American system like The Big Short that's on the movies right now. We don't run into that same problem where all of a sudden people are losing their homes.
Well, that's it. We don't want to see that in Canada at all. You know, let's talk about steady growth, not boom and bust.
There was an article in the paper there last week. It said a bigger down payment is actually a good thing. And Bill, it goes on to say, if this banquet ends with a crash, even those of us who have never borrowed a penny will be chipping in to pay the bill. What do you think?
I don't think so.
No?
No. I guess the thing I look at right now in Canada is it is darn difficult to be a bank in Canada. So you have to adhere to all the rules. And so unless you're going to see some catastrophic thing go on, people that have owned homes and are currently owning homes are normally well served. You know, they have a certain amount of equity. Yes, they put 5% down, but we've seen some increases in values of property, so there's a buffer built into there. We see people that are actually looking after the equity in the home. We see them making good payments. Yes, you're always going to have a fringe amount. You're always going to have the 10% or the 5% that don't pay attention to any of this stuff and are going to be still spending money willy-nilly on credit cards and everything else. But for the most part, the clients that we have are steady. And correct me if I'm wrong, Fern, but I mean, we've got over 2,500 clients in our database that we deal with on a regular basis. And other than the fact that we might have somebody that has come into a problem, either a divorce or a death in the family, they're, for the most part, they're solid.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, I find that too. You know that I think a lot of this media hype is out there to scare people, and then of course the people that are negative to begin with, that they can turn it into even more negativity. But the biggest influences that I've found on our prices of houses, etc., where people do lose money, is exactly what you say. If it's a divorce or sometimes a death or mainly a divorce, but that's when people walk away with half the amount of equity because they're sharing it. But you've hit it right on, Bill.
Well, there's something that went on that I heard in one of the other discussions we've had with some other clients of ours. 80% of the people who are millionaires made their money by buying property.
If you're in it for the long run, you can't lose. That's what I heard.
Exactly. So when you hear people saying, I mean, I have clients today that have friends that their realtors, it's certainly not you, that have suggested to sell and not buy until the crash.
Wow.
Well, they still can't get in.
You have to time it right. That's the scary part. That yes, when we look at 1980 and all that kind of stuff, if we knew in 1978 that it was going to crash in 1980, that might have been my advice. But none of us had a crystal ball, and none of us have a crystal ball now. And my advice always to clients is keep your money invested in real estate. If you don't feel comfortable being a landlord, buying a second or third property, but keep it in your single-family. Well, I was going to say single-family dwelling, but I mean keep it in your main residence. Keep your money there. It's always going to grow.
And if you'd like to get some more expert information mortgage-wise online, you can visit Bill Macklem. His website is billymac.com. That's Billy with an I, not a Y, MAC.com, right?
That's right.
What's your phone number?
604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
And in the next segment of the program, Bill?
We're going to hear from our radio real estate home handyman, Finn Jensen. This morning, Finn says January is travel time. However, there are some things you should do before you leave.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know anybody who travels in January much.
No.
It's Tom Lucas. Good morning. Our co-host is a wonderful woman who knows her business. Her name is Fern Northcott. She's with Remax Performance Realty. Bill Macklem, the guy knows all about money. He is the president of Dominion Macklem Mortgages. And the guy that knows everything about producing a radio program is on the other side of the glass, Mr. James Brown. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Dwayne Bishop.
The Rock.
That's the Rock.
The Rock Dwayne.
It's Radio Real Estate on CIL 650.
Introducing Mommy Maids, a business created out of the lack of employment opportunities for single moms with flexible working hours. From residential to commercial, you can trust their insured and bonded cleaning professionals with any task. Let them clean your castle with no hassle. Go to mummymaids.com or call 604-533-4959.
1, 2, 3, ABC. Mommy Maids come rescue me.
Hi, this is Preston from Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations. The Christmas holidays are almost here, and Humphrey Pro Painting and Renovations can get your home ready for the season. We offer the best products and the best services at the best prices. Call for your estimate, 604-897-6049. That's 604-897-6049. Or get more information online at humphreypropainting.com. That's humphreypropainting.com.
CIL 650.
I'm fixing a hole where the rain gets in and stops my mind from wandering. I'm filling the cracks that ran through the door and kept my mind from wandering.
Well, if you have one of those roofs or walls that have cracks in them, don't worry, the rain's going to stop at noon. Then we're going to have showers.
What year?
Oh, yeah.
I had a shower this morning.
Good. Did you really?
Yeah.
What year? Oh, this morning. So our radio real estate home handyman, Finn Jensen, is on the line right now. Finn, what's on your mind?
Good morning, Tom, and good morning, everyone. January is travel time for many looking for a little warmth as our neighbors flock to places for a couple of weeks of sun and fun. As they're leaving, others are arriving, gear on board for a week or two on our snowy mountains. It's the usual winter swap. The neighbors who duff their skis for a swimsuit have a couple of things to do before departing. The home has to be secured, windows and doors checked, security systems and lights activated, and friends notified of your departure. And vehicles, too, should be checked and properly parked. All this and more, such as the home mechanicals, have to be looked at, too. Take the time to check for leaks under sinks and around toilets. And your furnaces and boilers and water heaters must be operating properly, too, or you might return to flooring that looked like a bad lawn. This is Finn Jensen for Radio Real Estate. Talk to you next week.
This winter, let Finn take care of all your plumbing and heating needs. For fast, reliable, and dependable service, call Finn at Gentech Mechanical Installations. That's 778-378-2740. That's 778-378-2740.
Did you bring the umbrella today?
Yeah, two of them.
Thank you, because Fern needs one too, you know.
Well, no, I need one for the inside of the van and one for outside.
Hey, listen, as usual, you're always working, Fern. You're working so hard, and every week at this time of the program, you always have a wonderful listing for us, and this week is no exception.
This week is absolutely no exception. These people have gotten a jump on the market. Brand new listing in Chimney Hill in Surrey, which is East Surrey. It's on a half-acre gross density lot. The property is listed at $949,000. It is totally a one-owner. And over the years that they have owned it, they have done lots of upgrades, as in new roof, custom fencing, insulation, gutters, fresh paint, yard drainage, remote alarm with cameras, lighting on demand, high-end flooring, carpets and appliances, skylights, bath, shower, and tiles. So it really is a treat to see this home. It's 2,501 square feet. And I'll give you the address for a drive-by if you like. It's 7537 150A Street in East Newton, and it's listed at $949,000.
You know, I like to listen to you people on the radio. You talk about these different areas, and I start to think about history, how these places got their names. For example, out in Langley, Telegraph Hill, probably they had a telegraph put in there. You just mentioned Chimney Hill is it Surrey? I'm thinking back in the early days, people smoked a lot up there. No?
How about Newton?
Well, you know what? Honestly, I don't know how Chimney Hills and Chimney Heights got their name. Good thing there. But it is close to the golf course there on 152, between 152 and 150th.
Okay.
So it's in a higher-end area of Surrey. A lot of two-story homes, a few with basements, a few ranchers, that kind of stuff. So you have a really good cross-section of demographics in Chimney Hills.
All right. So now, Bill, if somebody needs to get some mortgage information, they can call you after the show?
Absolutely. Just like Doreen did last week.
Yes.
Call me at 604-684-4663. That's 604-684-HOME.
And Fern, if they want to get a hold of you after the program, what number do they call?
I can be phoned or text at 604-790-9066, 604-790-9066. Looking forward to talking about your real estate needs.
And if somebody wants to get a hold of you on the World Wide Web, what's your URL for that?
Mine is fnorthcott.com. That's Fern, F as in Fern, northcott.com.
In the middle of our street.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Is it Ukrainian New Year's?
Yes, it is. It's Ukrainian New Year's. This is for Fern Northcutsky. You're not Ukrainian, are you, Fern? Maybe she is.
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, it's all sorts of New Year's going on.
There is.
Ukrainian New Year's.
The Chinese New Year coming up in February.
There's the Epiphany, little Christmas.
Oh, really?
And I think it's time that we all take down the Christmas decorations now.
Oh, I like to leave them up until March,
I
April,
thought so.
because I really like them. You know, it's so bright. They get the lights on. It's kind of romantic.
I think Fern is outside taking the lights off the Christmas tree right now.
She is.
Yeah, she's doing
I
a good.
think she's blasted
Actually, you know, my Christmas tree has been down since January 10th.
Good for you.
I mean, there's really not much to taking down a Charlie Brown tree.
I see.
Pull it up and put it back in its box.
And we'll talk about still eating Christmas candies next week on the show. Fern, you have yourself a lovely week. Thank you so much for all the information this week.
My pleasure, Tom.
We'll talk to you next week. You have a good week. Bill, thank you so very, very much.
Always great to be here, Tom.
Say hi to your dear family. Thank you.
I certainly will, and say hi to the Rock for me.
Will do. Hi, Rock. And
Hey.
thank you for listening to the program, and I'm back with you for music Monday morning.
Really?
At 7 o'clock right here on CL 650.
Tom Lucas, all the time.
You got it.
Wow.
Have a wonderful week. Thank you. Bye.
The preceding was a paid program on CL 650.